And they are Mrs. Hennessy, who's the applicant speaker, Mr. Collins, local businessman, and Mr. Jackson, who's the chair of the Hereford Enterprise Board. Just to reiterate, you have 15 minutes between you. When you're ready, I'm going to start with the 5 minutes. Who would like to take off, Mrs. Hennessy? Whenever you're ready, I'll just wait for Mr. Brown to get back to his machine. Okay, okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Claire Hennessy, Technical Director and Chartered Town Planner from WSP-Parsons. I am speaking on behalf of Herefordshire Council as the applicant. The Southern Link Road, along with the complementary sustainable transport measures, is vital to the delivery of the transport strategy set out in the local transport plan adopted by the Council last month. The road is a key part of the infrastructure requirements for growth set out in the Council's core strategy and adopted last year. Walking, cycling, public transport initiatives alone will not be sufficient to support growth. £27 million has been secured from the Government for both the Southern Link Road and the complementary measures. This funding has been secured, recognising that the package is good value for money. 11 route options were assessed in accordance with DfT guidance. This assessment was subject to rigorous scrutiny by the Council's Overview and Scrutiny Committee before the decision to take forward the selected route was taken by Council. The selected route is the best performing route when all criteria are considered, including highways design standards and environmental effects. As is often the case with road proposals, there are impacts as well as benefits. The impact on the ancient woodland was taken into account and loss avoided where possible. Elisu Wood and Newton Coppice are not affected. As reported by the Council's ecologists, the road traverses woodland that has been compromised and the impact on rare or pristine ancient woodland flora and fauna will be minimal. The application includes an area of woodland as compensation which is nearly 3.5 hectares in size, larger than the area to be lost, and it will be planted as a species-rich native woodland. This will be actively managed in the future. No listed buildings are directly affected. The impact on the setting of the Grade 2-star Haywood Lodge has been the subject of rigorous assessment. Several site visits were undertaken to assess the value of the setting, taking into account topography, its relationship to other heritage assets and the remnants of the historic landscape, and how the setting of the building is experienced. Mitigation measures have been incorporated into the design to minimise the impact, including lowering the embankments to soften the slopes, the use of stone to pad structures. In order not to overemphasise the route in the landscape, a combination of grassland and hedgerow planting is proposed to blend with adjacent fields, and native trees are proposed to screen the road where necessary. Historic England have accepted the mitigation measures now proposed. The road will have some noise impacts during operation. To mitigate, the road will be serviced with low noise road surface. The majority of properties within the South White area will experience a decrease in noise levels due to traffic flows being diverted, particularly at Belmont on the A465 and along the A49. In order to reduce noise levels during construction, hours of work will be limited. Temporary noise screens will be used and the works will be managed to minimise disturbance. The applicant submitted a comprehensive review of the alignment of the Clean-on-the Link in October 2015 to consider if the impact on bikeways could be reduced. The design speed of 40 miles per hour and the transition between the link and the A465 were taken into account, and it was concluded that the alignment included in the application was the most appropriate solution to achieve the required design and safety standards. In order to avoid bikeways, a sharper bend would be required with a maximum speed limit of 30 miles per hour, meaning that the public right-of-way crossing would be less safe and there would be less visibility for landowners accessing fields adjacent to the road. These impacts must be weighed against the transport The transport assessment clearly demonstrates that traffic flows are forecast to decrease on the urban sections of the A49, the A465, Walnut Tree Avenue and Home Lacey Road. The route will allow the introduction of a weight limit on the Belmont Road and provide a better alternative to rural roads southwest of Hereford, which are currently used as rat runs. The enterprise zone will benefit from this additional capacity, enabling further development of businesses and local jobs. Accessibility to the enterprise zone will be significantly improved, with overall journey times reduced by 50%. The transport assessment has been reviewed by both the Council's officers and Highways England. Neither have challenged the modelling or the conclusions of the assessment. In conclusion, the need for the road is established within the Council's adopted core strategy and the local transport plan. The route selected was endorsed by the Council. It is clear that the Southern Link Road has significant benefits for Hereford and that there are limited yet significant impacts. The application includes a package of mitigation, including landscaping, ecological and best practice environmental management measures. Mitigation has been accepted by Natural England and Historic England, and neither body are asking the Council to refuse the application. The application submitted is robust and supported by all the technical evidence required for the committee to follow the case officer's recommendation.
Hello, my name is Phil Collins. I've been running a business on trailers, building business for over 40 years, and in that time we've seen the bypass arguments come and go. I've sat around the table with the late George Hyde and many members of the Rotherham business community, the Hereford Business Board and more recently Bill Jackson, all with one aim in mind: to make Hereford's antiquated road system work better. We've been working with the Thorn Lighting site over the last 16 years, converting and running it as a store business park. And since then have endured so many traffic delays, and this is not to go through the town, but just to one side of it. Since the enterprise zone was approved by our government to create jobs and growth and improve the low-wage economy that our county has become, our company has been blessed with the majority of the new construction contracts which have been awarded on Rotherham. This has been a boost to our business and enabled us to create not just more jobs, but better jobs. Construction managers, designers, cost analysis staff, as well as the many skills within the building trade. It was Princess Anne who came to one of our discussions in Rotherham about the future of Hereford and said, "I don't believe there's such a thing as an unskilled job anymore," and she was right. But these people, once given the skills, do not want to sit in traffic wasting time. They want to be at work doing the jobs for which they've been trained. Our journey from Rotherham to Rotherham from our yard is repeated on average 6 times in each direction every day of the week. That journey time will be reduced on average by 10 to 15 minutes each trip, because the present route is so inefficient. The existing route takes much extra time, because this is our route, and it's one that many people follow. We turn right at Box Garage off the A465 and hope there is no train coming. We then take a left soon after railway crossing and Little Nurseries. We then follow that twisty road that goes past Haywood Farm to a T-junction. This section of road was repaired at considerable expense to our council some 2 or 3 years ago, and already is in need of further repairs. We then turn right and fork left, then around a long left-hand bend, which is quite narrow. A couple of years ago, the road collapsed and had to be repaired, with a curb on the inside which is narrowed and brings traffic to a standstill, if 2 hours late. We then arrive at the back of the Toyota garage, where the staff park on the side of the road for about 150 yards, down to the Grafton Junction. We hope there isn't too much of a hold-up, as cars are moving in and out of these garages, sales and repair yards. We then come to the main road junction. We might just have 3 or 4 cars, but if the Ross Road is busy, it can take 3 to 5 minutes just to get out of the main road. Now you might ask, why do we take that route? We could in fact take the A465 and turn on Walnut Tree Avenue to the right and cross the Broadleaf traffic control. Well, at peak times, the traffic in Belmont Road is desperately slow moving, as we all know. It can easily take 15 minutes of queuing to get to the junction with Walnut Tree Avenue. Then once we've travelled along it, those lights only let about 4 vehicles at a time go. So at busy time, another 5 to 10 minutes to cross the junction. All of this would add at least 20 minutes to the journey time, which could be offered by the new road. We've estimated that even by using our frustratingly tedious route described above, This cost our company over £20,000 a year in lost time. I must admit to being staggered myself when I did the maths, but that is a genuine loss of production, not overstated. The Rotherham access road, the one that's already built, was once branded a road to nowhere, and many people objected to it. I confess that even I was a little sceptical about how much use it would get, and concerned about the cost. But now I can see just how it has made things significantly better for the businesses and customers of Rotherham. It now needs to take the next step and become a connection with not just the A49, but also the A465, which connects it to South Wales. I drove up the heads of the Valley Road a couple of weeks ago and was staggered at the amount of work they are doing to improve the Blackroad Road from Abergavenny to Brynmawr. I couldn't help but marvel at the enormity of the task and wonder what would happen if we needed to do such incredible infrastructure works in Herefordshire. Nevertheless, this road, which extends from the N4 at Swansea, will soon be dual carriageway most of Abergavenny, and with this Southern Link Road will provide a pretty good road all the way from Swansea to Royals. As you all know, the port strategy has finally been adopted by Herefordshire Council, and includes the Western Link Road. This is way overdue, as we all know, but if it is finally to be built and then enjoyed by normally fueled and electric cars of the future, it must link with our industrial heartland at Royals. Whilst I have every sympathy for those who live close to this new highway, I hope that you can have the courage to start something to give this road the green light it deserves, and start to give Hereford a road infrastructure that brings us up to the standards expected for the 20th century. And by the way, I either walk or cycle to work when weather allows, but cannot do that to get to Royals. Thank you.
See, we're doing all this just because you want to
Sit down, please. Sit down. Sit down, please. Sit,
This is all
please.
about you, Mr. Collins. Shame on you. For you, let's
Sit.
put it Phil
Will
Collins
you
away,
sit
shall
down,
we?
please? Now, just a moment, sorry. I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. If I get any more of that, you'll have to leave. Now, I think that's fair. You've had your turn to speak, let the others. I think that's reasonable. Any more, and you can leave. Mr. Jackson, please.
Mr. Chairman, how many minutes have I got?
Just a minute. I'll make the decision what I'm going to do. Keep interrupting. This is what happens. You see, you can't have a fair debate. So look, would you keep quiet, please? I've just already told you now. Be quiet. Because it's been going on right up to now. You've had your turn and your proper time, and I expect you to respect other people. If you can't do that, it's not worth you being here. I'm going to give you, Mr. Jackson, I think, 5 minutes, because I gave extra time to the lady over there. If you can start now, and when we finish that, the way things are going, I think there'll be time for a little break. Over to you again. Please,
Mr. Chairman, my name is Bill Jackson. I chair the Enterprise Zone. I've done that for 3.5 years. Before that, I chaired Lark and Generation for 5 years, stepping down to take over this position. Infrastructure. Just think of that word, infrastructure. Hereford Enterprise Zone is proving a real success. Almost 200,000 square feet of new business workplace has been built. Just put that note down, 200,000 square foot. And occupied on the site so far, the private sector investment well in excess of 10 million, with 700 people employed by these investors. At least as much again will be built over the next 2 to 3 years, and bear that in mind, as a consequence of detailed sales negotiations currently underway. And we have 2 more factories starting next month. One of the key reasons behind the success is the ease and certainty of making progress for these business investors. The local development order agreed with statutory agencies, including Highways England, who control the A49, not the council, is an important part of that certainty, allowing for simplified, speedy planning decisions. However, the LDO only allows the development within the existing highways network infrastructure. With in the existing highways network. We calculate that we only can develop 5,000 square feet, 500,000 square feet. Put that down, within the existing highways network, before we hit the limits of the LDO. This is only a third of the full potential of the zone. And we've already hit, or will have hit, 400,000 square feet. That gives another 100,000 square feet. And if you look, you've got the biomass power plant wanting to come in on the edge, which is serviced by vehicles. We call those slots, vehicles going in and out. Plus whatever else Collins is built, or anyone else on what is the council and the private part of the Rotherham. We are working very hard with every investor throughout Rotherham's travel plan to minimise their impact on the highways network at peak times, encouraging sustainable travel, particularly cycling and walking to work. This will continue. You, the council, put in the bridge to bring people in by foot and also by cycle. We are continuing that as a network right through the enterprise zone. And on the 17th of September, the Cycle and Walking Day will be created, and we hope to have our plan, our master plan, for cycling and walking to work. Nevertheless, we see a situation not too distant future where we could have to turn a major investment opportunity away unless something is done to improve the rural infrastructure. Every city has to have it. Go to Shrewsbury, go to Worcester, go to Gloucester. They have got infrastructure. We're catching up. And we're way behind. You will appreciate that rejecting investment and providing doubt in terms of securing planning approvals will negate all the certainty above and bring to a grinding halt all the goodwill and momentum we have agreed or generated. Now we, the council, own 80% of the enterprise zone. Our private site own 100%, which will put the infrastructure in which you paid us hundreds of thousands to actually get on the market. We do not want to get that position. The Southern Link Road will provide additional traffic capacity to allow the enterprise zone to continue to grow. So we welcome support this planning application for the Southern Link Road. We see this as a vital step in improving the road infrastructure to enable the zone to develop at its full potential with a consequential positive impact on the economy of the county. Hereford is a great place to invest into business. We have excellent innovative homegrown enterprises which need our support to grow. They need the right infrastructure to do this, and we owe it to them and future generations to provide the best conditions for growth. Only then will the private sector be able to provide the jobs local people need, and we desperately need them. Particularly in the more deprived areas. The deprived areas that we've got in South Wye need to be able to stay in the county and prosper. We also desperately need affordable housing. We have a real problem in the county, and now I'm going off the script and I'm using the passionate side, the real side. I'm born and bred in the city. We have a problem with alcoholics, we have a problem with drugs. We have a problem with the lowest income per family in West Midlands. We need to get our income up. We are at the present moment creating jobs. We're creating jobs, value jobs. And also with their apprenticeships. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, everybody. If you could go back to your seats, I just want to say that we're going to have 10 minutes adjournment now for a comfort break. But could I just ask you, councillors, please